The President of the Republic of Chile is the head of state and the head of government of the Republic of Chile. The President is responsible for both government and state administration, although its role and significance has changed over the history of Chile, as well as its position and relations with other actors in the national political organization. It is one of the most prominent political figures. It is also considered as one of the institutions that make up the historic Constitution of Chile, and is essential to the country's political stability. Under the current constitution, the President is elected to serve for a period of 4 years, with immediate re-election being prohibited. The shorter period allows for parliamentary and presidential elections to be synchronized. The official seat of the President of Chile is the La Moneda Palace in the capital Santiago. Features of the office. Requirements. The Constitution of 1980 and its consecutive amendments establishes the requirements for becoming president. Originally, the president must be a natural-born citizen of the country. The president must also be at least 40 years old. In addition, must all the requirements for becoming a senator apply. Also, the president must meet all the requirements to qualify as a fully Chilean citizen with the right to vote. Those are who have reached the age of 18 years and who have never been sentenced to afflicting punishment. The loss of the right to vote is the main disqualification for the applicant. In the 2005 constitutional reform, some of these requirements were changed. The president now must have the Chilean nationality. The president must also be at least 35 years old. Election. Article 26 detail the electoral requirements. The president shall be elected by direct ballot, with an absolute majority of the votes validly cast. A two-round system is used. In order to win the election in the first round, the winning candidate's party must receive more than 50% of the valid votes, leaving out of the count blank and spoiled votes. The election shall be held the third Sunday of November of the year, immediately before the end of the administration of the president then holding office. Should there be more than 2 candidates in the presidential election, none of them obtaining more than half of the votes validly cast, a new election shall be held. The second election, in the manner determined by law, shall be held the 4th Sunday after the first election, limited to the 2 candidates with the highest relative majorities. Then, the candidate with the majority of valid votes in that round is elected president. Term duration. Under the 1828 Constitution, the president served for 4 years, without the possibility of immediate re-election for one more term. In the 1833, the presidential period was limited to 5 years, with the possibility of immediate re-election for one more term. After serving for 2 consecutive periods, the president is not allowed to run for a third consecutive period. Then, in 1878, by a constitutional reform, the re-election was not permitted. Under the 1925 Constitution, the president served for a 6-year term, without the possibility of immediate re-election. In the original text of the 1980 Constitution, the president served for a 8-year term without the possibility of immediate re-election. Some transitory disposals, fixed during the government of the General Augusto Pinochet, allowed the exceptional possibility of his re-election in the 1988 plebiscite. Then, in the transition to democracy, the 1989 referendum established a first transitional 4-year presidential term, followed by common 8-year terms, without the possibility of immediate re-election. However, in March 4, 1994, the presidential period was reduced to a 6-year term, without an immediate re-election. Under the 2005 constitutional reform, the president serves for 4 years, without the possibility of immediate re-election for one more term. However, in Chile a person may be re-elected again after serving his term. So after serving the corresponding presidential period, the president is not allowed to run for a second consecutive one, but could staying out of office for the following term and may return for the following election and so on. There is no limit for a person to be a candidate if he or she does not win the elections. The incumbent president, according with the Constitution, complete their corresponding term on March 11th of the year immediately after the election. The president-elect take office the same day. List. Political parties 1826 to 1841. Independent Pipialos Palucans 1841 to 1973. Conservative Party, National Party, Liberal Democratic Party, Radical Party, Christian Democratic Party, Socialist Party, 1973 to 1990. Military 1990 present.